Hi, welcome back to the next part of our tutorial to make the train. That is what we got last time here. When you see the dimension of this tunnel, you see that the train can't be in there, so we have to hide that. And surely we have made the smoke and so on. That must play again to see that. And we won't make here the electric for that. So when you look at the original, we have it here. You see there is the railing stuff and then snow and then beton and on that metal. So we make that. So we get here, I go to this mode. We go here to our plane and here we need to have a thicker part. So that means, oh, I give you screencast keys, I think. It's better. So extrude and bring them down to get a thickness there. The whole thing must then be higher or the bridge deeper. So I make the bridge deeper. So I bring that here down to this point. Then we have seen here must be snow and then beton there. So that means we need more space here. That means we must get this and bring that more to the side. That we have more space to get the same size as here. Okay, so we mark on that all, get this part and bring them more to the side. Good. Then we get the plane. Then we get the side face and bring them more out so that we have the same space at the other side. That's good. Now we need a space where we can make snow and beton. So for that, we have to make here loops in, Control R to make loops, Control R to make another loop. That now is for the beton, that is for the snow, and that we make on the other side too. Some for the snow and some for the beton. And when we look at the original, the beton must come up a little. So that means we can take this both faces here and extrude them upwards. So we have that thing that we can make with the beton material. That means we need here more materials. We have only split on there. So plus, and we search for beton. We must look which beton that is. It's not equal which beton you take for that. We need all, but not the middle and not the snow, but the rest can be beton. So we go to beton now and assign that to that material. Then we go here to material mode. Then we see what we got. That is in the moment that what we got because of we don't unwrap that in the moment correctly, and there must work on the texture coordinates and something on. So for that, maybe we take a new one. We take a new one plus new, we call it Beton Bridge. Then we go here to color at the point and say we want to have an image. We open that image. That image is in our texture folders. You can get it by textures.com. I told you that before. And we search for beton. So I have it here. and I take that one here. So now we put it on the model. That means we go in edit mode and assign that material to our model there. Why it isn't correct? Because of the unwrap and the missing data from the texture coordinates. So we input texture coordinates, we input an vector mapping, then we connect UV with the vector with the vector. Yeah, that is what we do. So then we have that. That is without deepness, without glossy, without all. So for that here we need another unwrap. So we take U and Smart UV project unwrap, and you see what we get. That here is too big texture. That means we must reduct that. We try 6 to 6. That is not what we want. So point 1 and point 1, that's better. When we look now in the camera mode with the numpad pressing 0, you see that is more beton than ever the other one. Yeah, that is the right one. Good. So we have done that, but we want to have a 3D effect on this beton also. That means we have to plug in here the color into displacement, and you see what happens. It is 3D. For that to control, we need a math notifier and converters math. Bring it between and get here multiply, and then you see you can handle that with that. Uh, Remember, you must see that. When you don't see your effect, you don't must make them. Yeah, you must see them. When it is not seeable, why you use an effect on that? Yeah, that makes no sense. Good. Um, but I see that is good. We will see. Uh, we make now glossy on that. That means we need a shader mixer. So we get a shader, get a mixer, make it between, get another shader, the glossy shader, and that's beton. So they have a high roughness. So we make here a high roughness and bring that to the mixer. So we see he makes it in the different thing. And now you see what's the problem with our roughness there. We must take them down. So to 0.003, that looks better. Not perfect, but better. Good. This other one needs to have the snow material on it. So we will do that. And for that here, we can use, for the mix shader as a factor, we can use the color of the image. Then it looks more real. Good. We don't care about that. We make the snow now. So that means we need a third material. So we make a plus, new, call it snow. 1, 2, 3, and okay. So I have tested much materials for that, and we use that with a bump. So I show you that. We have here in my Blender files under procedural textures, we have here the snow, and we need that with the bump effect. Is that with the bump? Nope. as the other one, but I will look again. Sorry. No. Better is that with the bump. So I search that. That can be the third one. That is that with the bump. That we want to build now. That is the material of the snow. The nodes for that. We need a glossy, a diffuse, a mix shader, a glossy shader, and so on. So we make it here to half, that we can see our nodes from Blender. So we go to Blender and make that to window 2 and make them to the half so we can see both. So we have the diffuse here, but you see we need an add shader between that. Go here to solid so it is faster. An add shader, so add shader and add shader. Bring it to the material output. Hope you see that all good. Then we have here two mix shaders. So we plug in here add shader, mix shader, one and a second with Shift D. You can duplicate them and bring them to the add shader. Good. This diffuse shader comes into that mix shader, and we need, you see it here, a glossy shader on here, and glossy shader. So we add shader, a glossy shader. One time, Shift D to duplicate. We have a second one. This down part, you see it here, will be in that mix shader. And look at this values there. You must have the same. Here is 200, there 0. So we make here a 0. Good. You see the diffuse shader, it is 0. Wonderful, wonderful. You see this glossy shader, here this glossy shader is 0.1. So we go in here and type 0.1. Good. And this glossy shader goes in the middle, so we make it in the middle. Then we need to have a Fresnel, that is here input Fresnel there. Then we see it is the border IOR. We take it as a factor for the mix that we have here. Good. That we all have done. Then you see here is a bump. That means we have to go here at vector bump. And this bump shader is connected to the diffuse shader in from normal to normal. So here normal, there normal, plugged in, wonderful. Then we need a noise texture here. Important is to get here this range down. We have here 1, so we need a 0.1, and we need a distance 0.1 that we have. Good. So we need a noise texture, so we add texture, and where's the noise? There, noise texture. Bring it here. Connect factor with the high, and look that the values are the same. So there is 750. We make here 750. We have here 2 and then 0, 2 and 0. Wonderful. So you see down here the path. We need a combine RGB. So add, I must look where it is. Here in converter, you can see combine RGB. Bring it on before and connect image with the normal. Then we look that here on the B is 1. So that is okay. Then we need to separate RGBs. That is to mix colors or separate colors and so on. Good. So we need separate RGB. We take them here and make here two connections from R to G, and that is good then. Then we need the Veroni. So add shader. Is that shader? No, it's a texture. Veroni texture. So then we connect color with the image and go here from intensity to cells and get here the value 4000. Good. That is our material in the moment, and we will see what it makes. I must check that all again. Sorry for that. That is good. That is good too. Okay. 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 Good. So we have make this material snow 123. It's called, and when we look at our real picture, we want to have it on the sides between the beton and the other stuff there. So we go in the normal mode here and take these two faces to bring on there our new made material. We disable behind selection. We only mark these two faces and give them this no material assign, and it needs an unwrap. So we look from top view, Smart UV project, and unwrap that. So now we have here our snow material, and you see that snow material isn't that it's too fine. We need it rougher. So for that we have to change the displays normally. I must look at it again. They don't work with displays, they work with that thing there. Okay, then we must work with the bump. So we try it here. Strange distance scale. When we get from the scale to 200, yeah, it's rougher. And when we go from strange isn't that. Normally we need a UV texture coordinates and so on. I will make add input texture coordinates, add convert vector mapping, and bring the UV at the vector and the vector to the vector. So the same we need for the Veroni. Then we have that material. Normally it is too classy, but we will see that all later. The complete picture makes the art or what you see there later. So don't make your bread. So to get better reflections on that, we need surely displays for that all. So that means we can take the bump of that as a displays. Then we have that. can make it away. We try it again. The noise texture as a factor. Yeah, that's better. You see what happens here, give some more reflections. So we need a math converter between them and make them on multiply so that isn't that hard. And then the value you bring to 0.003 or something. And then you see that isn't that hard as before. The only thing I see here, the 750, I tried again, makes that more than this size. Okay, okay. We are not here on texture mode, so we go to texture mode, and we have the 0.1 and the 0.1. We try 5. You see what happens. It was better. Now it is bigger than before, so we can try a 0.1 and a 0.1. Then it's very high detail, but that is not what we want. We want to see that. So we try here 9 and a 9, and here maybe a 5, and here maybe a 3, and here maybe a 1. Try it. For me, that isn't enough. It should be rougher stuff. So 5 isn't good. 1 and 1. No. So 2 and 2. No. So we try here 4 maybe. Yeah, that's better. And 6 maybe. That's much better. And a 9. Yes, that looks like snow must look. Okay, that is a straight cut here. So we have to struggle it out a little. But we let it in a moment. It's all in a moment. I will change that material surely later. And we have to do this other stuff. This, yeah, you see it here. This we can make now. Railing. So that's called. So we go in here and get add mesh cube, scale down, get up, go to the object, scale on set. That's the foot of it. Then we need to make a loop in here to get up. It should be a quarter. So we get here the top face and bring them then out. So extrude and bring that out. And we have that. We see the drain and we see our thing. And it should maximum the half of the drain. That is good. The whole down part must go down. So we take background selection, word selection, and circle selection and bring that down to our beton there. Surely we need here then the screw heads that we used. I make them new now. So add mesh and cylinder, but with 6 faces. So we can scale them down, scale, and scale in the set. Sorry for that. So scale set, and bring it to the side and Shift D. Oh, that was moving. Flatten it. Go back. That's my new keyboard. I told you before that is a horrible thing. Shift D and bring it here. Then mark both and join them together as one and join them together with the rest of that. So we have only that thing here, that, and it moves all with. That is good. Now we have to make a good unwrap for that. When we look from the front, what we later see is only that we see. So we can make the seams that we cut off to these parts there. And you see it is too bright all in all. So we go to the object and see we must scale in Y. That is only a cube and not a bright thing or something else. But you see when we do that, we have here the problem that is scaled wrong here. So we can try to mark that here and scale that and set. Then we got that and can bring that to the position. That is good. Maybe these two things here can be a little bit deeper, I think. Yeah, that can be good. Okay. So when we look at the original, that are these parts that we made now, is rusty metal, I think. Yep. So we have to unwrap that, and because of that, we must mark seams there. So what that means? That means we take this whole thing, and there where we don't see something, there we can cut our 3D model into a 2D model. So we go in here, shading UV and mark seam, and we make it on the back side because nobody sees that. So we mark them there, and this one here too, mark seam. So at the top, that will go into another object, so we can mark that too. Mark seam, good. And then this object is possible to unwrap that, good. Um, then we have surely many of them, so we need here an array modifier. So we go here on the modifier, add array modifier. Is in the wrong direction, is in the X. We don't need it in the X, we need it in the Y. So we take it here to 2 or something, and here 0, and then you see what we have, and we can now tweak that and give them the array count that we need. I think 10 or so. It's good. So we look what we got. That we see, and yeah, when we bring it to the last end, that is very, very far away. But we make it shit on it. So we give them here a count of 20, maybe 15 is enough. Maybe 10 is enough. No. So we need a 15. Okay. So we have that. Good. Then it needs some material, surely. So we make a new material. It should be a steel material. So we get here to the point. We give them name. Railing 1 steel. Okay. And go to this point by color and give them this image texture that we have downloaded from textures.com surely, and go to my metal folder and we see what we have here. I think that one can be right, or that one, but that isn't that fat that the other one. Um, so that can be okay. We have to unwrap that surely. We don't have done that before now. So you in the edit mode, we are in the edit mode of this thing. Then you to unwrap Smart UV project, and then we got that here, and that looks like steel. That is good. Good. File, save that all, and we see it needs the other stripes there with zero numpad. You can jump into the camera view or jump away from that. And you see we need here a top part and a middle part to cut that completely up. Okay, so we make that we can make there are separate parts to make some, but I will try this one. Add mesh a cube X delete. So add mesh cube, scale down to the size that this one have, but not completely, a little bit low. That is what we got. We bring that to the first one. And now we must think how big should that be. So I scale set a little. It can be a little bit uh, less in the thickness there. So we take the front face then and extrude it to the end where all these metal things stand. So grab here the green arrow and bring it to the end. Then we got that. And that should be over our posts here. So we must scale that whole thing in the X. So here we scale now in the X that it goes over the other. Okay. Then Shift D to duplicate, bring them in the middle, but there it must be same with the other. So scale X again, but in the other direction. So we got that. Good. That must be unwrapped too with the same material as we have before. And that means we should click that, go in edit mode, A to select all, mark seams here in the UV, and the same with the down part there. Edit mode, A to select all, mark seam. Okay. Then we have to unwrap them. So we go in edit mode, U to unwrap, Smart UV project, and the same with the down part. Edit mode, we tap U and Smart UV project unwrap. Then we give them the material. It's the same material that we use here. It's railing steel. So we get to this object the railing steel one, and that is on there. And we need it here to ray steel one. Okay. You see that isn't the best for that object because that isn't detailed enough. There are only one great thing that is don't cut it. and that is the problem in that. We try now other unwrap methods to make that good, or we must make more loops in. So we go in here and edit mode UV, and we take a normal unwrap, and what we see that isn't applied. That is because we changed that in the object mode and don't apply that object. Normally you only should scale in the edit mode. But when you do it in object mode, then you must apply the rotation scale. And that we do at the other one too. Click on it, objects, apply, rotation scale. Now we try a new unwrap. So we go in edit mode, U unwrap. That isn't that. So you Smart UV project. It isn't it too. So we can try cube, and cube is good. We take the other one too, edit mode, U, and give them cube projection, and then we have that. That is our railing there that we need. This material surely needs some work. You know what I ever say to you, we need here glossy and we need 3D look, that is the displacement and so on. So we go from the color to the displacement. Then you see directly here it comes harder, but it's too hard. So we take here a mass node, add vector converter mass, bring it between, take multiply, bring it to a value like 0.3, I think. Maybe it can be more or less. We will see that later. Okay. So we need a mix shader for the glossy shaders. So add shader, mix shader between the diffuse and the output. Then we need here glossy shader, surely, and bring them in here. Metal is glossy, but is a 50-50 mix that we don't want. We want to mix that by texture, so we bring in the color as a factor, and then you see we have a better effect there. This can be a little bit higher, I think, so I see that that is too much. Yeah, so we go here to 0.5 again, and we will tweak that all later, but for today, that is good. Yeah, we have our snow in, we have our railing built here that we can copy to the other side. So we can take them and bring it to the other side. So mark them all, Shift D, and bring it to the other side. You surely can make there an instance for that, because why we should make so much words there, yeah. We can make an instance and then it takes no words. That is much better. Okay, next time we will high up here the tunnel that is too small in the height. We will make that all up. And then we make here the electricity, yeah, the cables that come through that all, and then we see us again. So I wish you a nice day, and we see us at the next tutorial. So see you, bye.